There's a stretch of riverbank where the wind never rests, where shadows linger long after the sun sets, where the Snake River whispers secrets only the dead remember. Welcome to Massacre Rocks, a place with a name soaked in blood and a legend wrapped in sorrow. A place where the cries of the past still echo on the wind, in the voice of a child that was never allowed to grow. Massacre Rocks lies in southern Idaho, a rugged stretch of land along the historic Oregon Trail. Today it's a state park, but its name carries the heavy weight of violence. In 1862, a clash occurred between immigrants traveling west and the Shoshone people defending their territory. Settlers named it Massacre Rocks, though the true story is more complicated and bloodier than they were willing to admit. Many indigenous people died during this period of westward expansion, not just in battle, but through displacement, disease, and famine. It was an era of erasure and pain. From this pain emerges the legend of the water babies. The story goes like this. Long ago, a great famine swept through the land. The Shoshone tribe, pushed from their resources and struggling to survive, faced the unthinkable. With mouths to feed and no food to give, the tribe made a choice. A terrible, desperate choice. Infants too young and fragile to survive the hard journey ahead were taken to the river and drowned. Their mothers cried as the cold water claimed them. They believed it would be quick, a mercy. But the water never kept their secrets. Not long after, strange things began to happen. People heard crying by the river, soft, lonely cries with no source. They saw tiny, wet footprints in the sand that vanished mid-step. Then came the sightings, glowing eyes in the water, pale, childlike figures that slipped below the surface when approached. They called them the water babies. Some say they seek vengeance, others say they want their mothers, and some believe they want to drag the living down so they won't be alone. Over the decades, stories have poured in from those brave or foolish enough to spend a night by the river. One couple said they woke to the sound of a baby crying outside their tent. When they looked, there were no tracks, just water. A local fisherman claimed something icy grabbed his ankle from the shallows. He never returned to that stretch of river. One witness stated, "It looked like a child just standing there, dripping wet. I blinked, and it was gone." Another witness recalled, "The crying wasn't just sad, it was angry. It hated me. I could feel it." So where did this legend really come from? Is it truly an indigenous story, or something else? Some believe the tale is rooted in actual Shoshone or Northern Paiute oral traditions, but many native voices today question its authenticity or outright reject the version commonly told. They point out that the story may have been altered or invented by settlers. A dark fairy tale to paint native people in a terrifying light, a weaponized myth. Whether there was a famine or if children were sacrificed may never be fully known, but many believe the story reflects not an act of cruelty, but of impossible survival, a cultural trauma twisted over time. And what about the water? In many native traditions, rivers are sacred and dangerous. Spirits dwell in the water. Some heal, some harm. The water babies could be more than ghosts. They might represent a people's grief, the pain of forced migration, the ache of stolen land. To settlers, they were monsters, but to others, they might be memories, cries not for vengeance, but for remembrance. What if the legend is less about haunting, and more about history refusing to be forgotten. Today, Massacre Rocks is a serene place. People come to hike, to camp, to explore. But ask the locals, and you'll find many won't go near the water after sunset. They say the river remembers, and sometimes it cries. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain. Legends are born from truths we don't want to face. The water babies remind us that history has scars, and sometimes they cry out to be heard. So, the next time you're by the Snake River and the wind dies down, and you hear something small, something soft, something like a baby crying, don't follow it, don't answer, and whatever you do, don't go near the water. If you want to hear more spooky and mysterious tales, click the subscribe button and give us a like. If you've heard an urban legend tale and want us to explore its hidden depths, leave us a comment below.